Okay, it's the 1971 Cleveland Indians preview. The Indians are coming off a third place finish in 1970, and the Cleveland sports fans are excited about the prospect of opening day after the Browns' disastrous 1970 season and the Cavs' debut season, in which they played like an expansion team. The Indians are managed by Alvin Dark. This is his fourth season as the Indians manager. He has led the team to two third place finishes in 1968 and 1970. This is also his second season as the Indians general manager. In the offseason, the Indians traded Duke Snider to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Sorry, they traded Duke Sims to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And just a note, the custom Topps cards were posted on the Facebook custom baseball cards page and were created by Kay Kelly. Duke Sims last year for the Indians went into spring training expecting to be the starting catcher. He was supplanted by rookie Ray Fosse. And it was later discovered that Sims went to Alvin Dark during the season to request a trade, but he didn't sulk on the bench. He performed well as a backup. He did some backup at first base when Tony Horton was hurt, and in left field when Roy Foster was hurt. And then he took over the catching chores when Ray Fosse broke his finger in August. For Duke Sims, the Indians received Alan Foster and Ray Lamb, two pitchers. Foster's a starting pitcher, and Ray Lamb could start and relieve. And just before the end of spring training, the Indians signed free agent Camilo Pascual. The infield has been set with Ken Harrelson playing first, Eddie Leon playing second, Larry Brown playing shortstop, and Greg Nettles playing third. Larry Brown came into spring training expecting to be the Indians' backup shortstop, but Jack Heidemann had a sore arm that has impacted both his fielding and his hitting, so he is starting the season in Wichita. Since the middle of last season, the Oakland A's have been interested in Larry Brown, and they are trying to work out a deal with Cleveland to acquire him. For the reserve infielders, the Indians have Gomer Hodge, a rookie with no major league experience. Chuck Hinton, who is the most versatile player on the squad. He can play in each of the infield positions. He can play in the outfield, and he is also the emergency catcher. There's John Lowenstein, who spent some time with the team last year, and Lou Camilli, who was a September call-up last year. Cleveland doesn't have a set outfield yet. The five outfielders are Vada Pinson, played well in his first season with Cleveland last year. Ted Uhlaender, who came over in a trade from Minnesota, who also played well in his first season last year. Greg Nettles came in that trade also, and he had an excellent season as well. Roy Foster, who had an excellent rookie year last year. Buddy Bradford, who came over from the White Sox. And Ted Ford, who spent some time with the team early in the season, playing for Roy Foster when he was injured. The Indians catching squad is Ray Fosse, who had an excellent year last year. He was a starter in the All-Star game. He was playing well until he broke his finger in August that prematurely ended his season. And with Duke Snyder, I'll keep saying it, Duke Sims traded to the Dodgers, Ken Suarez will be the backup catcher. Top three stars have been named. Sam McDowell is the ace of the staff. He won the Cy Young Award last year. He also won the Cy Young Award in 1965. Steve Hargan, who had a couple of rough years, then he had arm surgery between the 1969-1970 season. Did a little bit of pitching with the Indians at the beginning of 1970 and was sent down to Wichita for what today I guess would be called a rehab assignment. Did well down there. He came back up to Cleveland in July, and his first game out, he pitched a 13-inning complete game. Because he kept saying his arm was so loose that he just wanted to go out there, pitched 13 complete innings and won the game. And the third starter is Alan Foster, who came over from the Dodgers. As I said before, he had a good rookie year in 1969, and he had a bit of a sophomore slump last year. Possible fourth starters will be probably Steve Dunning or Ray Lamb. Steve Dunning came to the team last year directly from the campus of Stanford, where he had been a phenom there. And the Indians, he was the Indians' #1 draft pick. And they brought him right up to the big club. So he has had no minor league experience yet. And Ray Lamb, he can start or relieve. In the bullpen, the Indians will have Rick Austin, pitched with them last year. Steve McGorry, who was a phenom in the minor leagues, throwing several shutouts. He came up to the team later in the summer last year. They'll have Vince Colbert, who was up and down between Cleveland and Wichita last year. Colbert can start as well if they need a spot starter. Camilo Pascual, who was just signed, and rookie Chuck Marsmall, who will be making his major league debut this year. Down on the farm, the Indians' #1 prospect down on the farm is Chris Chambliss with Wichita, who was the American Association Rookie of the Year last year. They also have Jack Heidemann, who is at Wichita rehabbing his arm. Fred Stanley, who they acquired over the winter. And Frank Baker, who is was signed by the Indians in 1965. Pitchers down on the farm, they have Phil Hennigan. He was the last player sent down to Wichita when the team broke camp. There is Mike Paul and Rich Hand, who were both with the Indians for most of the year last year. And Ed Farmer, who had a little taste of Major League pitching last year with the Indians.